Hello everyone and welcome to Makeover Monday, week 13, Watch Me Viz. This week we're looking at the impact that Brexit has had on UK exports to the EU. So the original visualization that we're going to look at is this simple graphic by The Guardian showing the value of UK exports to the EU over time. This is by month since it looks like maybe mid-90s or something like that. And you can see a big spike in around 2008, and then you see the big drop off for Brexit. I believe the decline between 2010 and 2015 is probably around when maybe they were negotiating Brexit, or maybe the public was trying to decide if they wanted to pursue Brexit or something like that. I don't know that for sure though. But anyway, the visualization itself actually I think is pretty good. It tells the story pretty clearly. You can see that big drop off that they're referring to in the title. So yeah, not a whole lot to add. The data set is pretty simple, so let me just pull it up here in Tableau. We only have a couple of columns, so we have the type or the category. That's things like I think there's like fuels and food and animal and things like that. Then we have the month, the exports, the imports, and then the balance. So the balance is the exports minus the imports. So that'd be like if it's a negative, that means you have a trade deficit. So let's start exploring. Simple time series, so I'm just going to start with maybe look at the data by year, and let's look at the exports and see if we can reproduce the chart. Now we see a gigantic drop off here in 2021, but that's because we only have data for 1 month of 2021, I believe. So I'm going to change my data type to just continuous months, and yeah, I only have one mark for January of 2020. But you see, we've been able to reproduce exactly the same chart as the Guardian super quickly. So yeah, I like that. So I'm just going to call this a Guardian version. And if I wanted to really make it match, I'd probably make the lines maybe a reddish color. Looks like they have them a bit thinner, and so on. So we could quite easily match what the Guardian is doing here. So I think that's okay. Now we also see that the exports, you can see it automatically formats it as, so this says like 12K, where theirs says 12, and then it has billions. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to create new calculated fields so I can report the data in billions. So I'm going to call this exports times, and it's in millions, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if I set the default number for this to be, let's say we want to make it billions. And if I put that here, the shape of the graph won't change. Okay, but now we're getting the same values that they were. Now it looks like we have data that theirs only goes up to 16 billion, where ours goes up to 20.8 billion. So let me see if there is a particular category that they are excluding. I know I double checked these numbers when I put them before I created them, when I got them from the ONS. So it's possible that they are excluding a particular category. So let's see. Okay, so maybe they're excluding food and live animals. Let's exclude food and live animals. Okay, that's still not it. Okay, so they're doing something, but I know that this is the right data. Okay, so that's our exports. Let me go ahead and let me just duplicate this calculation, and I'm going to put the imports in billions as well. And let's just do imports times a million, and then duplicate, edit, and this is going to be our balance. And I think for the balance, I'm going to leave it in millions. So, so to do that, actually, let me undo that. If I just put this here, it says 2K, so I could probably default property. Yeah, so let me, let's see, what did I do here? Yeah, so let me edit this one. Let's call this balance. Okay. Now if I put balance here, yeah, so that's pretty good. Okay, very good. So that gives us our imports. I'm going to duplicate, or sorry, our exports. I'm going to put imports on here as well. And we could see we get something like that. So you can see the imports are always higher than the exports, except for here back in the 90s. So maybe one way to look at this then might be as a kind of shading the area between between the lines. And I'm trying to remember how to do that. So let me, I think I did it shading between lines. Okay. All right, not that. So this shades between the lines, but I'm looking for an actual tutorial. Okay, so that's not it. I know Radi Zakovich has one, shading between lines tableau. But I believe it shading between the lines. Okay, let's see what this one is. This is on the Data School blog. Okay, but they wanted to switch the colors. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So we got year on columns, chart type to area. Actually, let me just duplicate the sheet first. So we're going to change the chart type to area. Oops, to area. All right. Ethnicity on color, percent on rows, stack marks off. Okay, so analysis, stack marks off. So this is just going to lay them on top of each other. All right, and then we need to get that result, which is fine. Find the minimum percentage for any given year. Okay, so min value per year, where actually for us it's going to be per month. So fixed at the month level, we want to do the min, and then it's the exports. So I need to get either the min of the exports or the imports. So so I need to copy this. So I'm going to say if that is greater than that, this should be imports. If exports is greater than imports, then I want to bring back imports. Oh God, I hate that. Does anybody else hate it when Tableau just creates another data source like that? Imports, else, exports, and okay. So we got that. All right. All right, create a combined axis. So drag smaller percentage. Okay, so let's see. So let's okay. All right, so I'm missing something here. Drag measure names from the rows onto detail, and then color it. Okay, so okay, so I'm doing something wrong. Okay, I'll come back to that later. So let me, yeah, because I thought it might look interesting to have them overlapped, but I'm doing something. Drag the smaller percentage calculation we just created onto the percentage axis. Okay, so the data is shaped differently here. So percentage, smaller percentage. Okay, so let's put the minimum value. And I think I can probably just do the opposite here for the maximum. So duplicate, edit. So if I do max value per month, God, did it again. It's so stupid. God, what the hell? This is so annoying. all I'm doing is copying and pasting, and Tableau keeps screwing it up. So if exports is greater than imports, then I want to use exports. Else, I want to use imports. Okay, so this would be our max value per month. Okay, so let me get rid of that. And measure values. Okay, so let's take our min value. Let's put our max value as a combined axis. And let's see, so I did something wrong here. Edit. So if the max is bigger than the imports, then I want to get the max. Otherwise, I want to bring back the max of imports. Okay. And this one says if the min exports is greater than the min exports, then I want the min imports. Okay, so something's weird here. So let me try it like this. Ah, okay. It's just, I think they're, let me try it like this. Okay, so now we've got those two. And so if I look here, I've got 3.5 billion versus 6 million. Let's see. But that's looking at, shoot. Okay, forget it. What's happening here is that my calculation isn't accounting for the overall, so that's not gonna work quite right. Okay, that's fine. Let me just delete that. Okay, so but again, we can see kind of the difference here. It might, I could probably do it if I reshape the data, so maybe I'll come back to that. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and what are some other views we could look at? So let's look at let's again look at the monthly data, and let's look at our category, and let's look at our exports versus and combined access with our imports. And I'm going to create some spark lines here, so I'm going to uncheck include 0 and make them independent. And that has them kind of fill up the space a bit. And then let's shrink the size down. Okay, so this is interesting. So this kind of helps me see there's a big, so crude materials had a big change. Machinery and transport. So there's some that started spreading farther apart. So the UK started importing a lot more than they did exporting. That, okay, unspecified goods. All right, that's fine. So let's duplicate this. And instead of measured values here, I'm going to have the balance. And let's again make this independent. Okay. Pretty much everything is declining. All right. So let me duplicate this one. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, let's add a maybe a 6-month moving average. So average, and I have to make the previous values 5. So you have to make the previous values 5 here because I have current value selected. So so 5 plus 1 is 6. And let's make that a combined axis view. Put that on color. Okay, so let's make this one red, and maybe make this one, let's make this one black. Let's see what that looks like. And move that one up from the other. Okay, so I like using moving averages as well because it kind of smooths out the data, but also the problem here is it shifted this point over. So yeah, so this is 2006. So Jeff says the decline from 2010 to 2016 is just the, well, I don't think it goes all the way to 2000. So this dip here is not the recession. I'm not quite sure what that is. Okay, so that's just another view. Spark lines, those aren't really anything particularly great. So let's look at maybe, what if we look at a heat map? So let's look at year and quarter, the value of the exports. Let's fit the width. Okay. And then maybe let's split this out by month. All right, so we can see that big increase here. But again, everything else is about the same shade, which isn't very helpful to us. So what if I make this diverging? I'm not going to leave it diverging, but I'm curious to see what it'll look like. Okay. So I was hoping a heat map might work out, but it doesn't look like it will. Year and quarter. No, we don't want to do that. Okay. Again, nothing real good. What else could we do? We've got the different products, so maybe or different categories. So I'm going to again look at it by month. And let's bring category onto color. And how about the balance on rows? And if we look at this as a running total, okay, so you can see machinery and transport continues to grow a bigger deficit. So as it goes down, it has a bigger deficit. Okay. But they have a surplus in fuels, probably because a lot of the crude oil and stuff comes from Scotland, so that would be included in the UK's numbers. So we've got month. Let's see, what else? What if we look at imports? Okay, nothing useful there. Exports. Okay, nothing really there either. But if we look at so this is machinery and transport equipment. So something happened here. Could probably look that up. But none of these look particularly useful. So what if I start looking at something like let's see. What if I just built a view that is, I'm going to default properties, create custom date. I'm getting tired of right-clicking and dragging month out all the time, so I'm just going to make this continuous months. So every time I drag this in, I'm just going to see all of the months. So real easy way to create a custom date. So let's look at if I look at balance again, we can see something like that. And if I do exports here, imports, and balance, let's put okay, so imports, exports, balance. All right. So I've got something like that. Now if I build a view, what if I move this here? Okay, let's leave it like that. What I want to, maybe what I'll do is I'll allow the user to kind of pick a range of dates, and then if they pick a range of dates, then we can maybe have some big numbers that total the things in between there. So I'm going to, so let's create a little timeline. I'm just going to make these circles. Actually, I'm just going to make it a line. Okay, and I'm going to create a set. And okay, month set, that's fine. Let me just pick a bunch of dates. Okay, and if I put that on color, in, out, okay, no, that's fine. I'm just going to want to see that this splits up the view. That's fine. So let's see, go here. So make sure this works. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so what I want the user to be able to do is to actually I'm going to put it like this for now so I can see the two sections separately. So that's good. Okay. Let me just put the out. Okay, I know it's a bit hard to see, but no, that's not going to work. So ultimately, I want the user to be able to, so let's add an action, and let's call it change set values. So update months set, and assign values to set, keep set values. Okay, oops, I need to tell it what set to update though. And the set is month set. Okay, so if I lasso a bunch of these points here, those are going to now be in my set. So if I show members, I can see it goes from November 2007 to May 2009, which is probably what I picked here. Okay, good. So, so this would be my date picker. All right, and then I think what I'm going to do is, so let's put month set values, and if month set, then month. And I'm going to put that onto detail. That's annoying. So I want this to be month. And now I'm going to add in, let's see, so I want to get the min month in set. So, so I'm going to say min if month set, then month. Oh, actually, I could say min of month set values. And then I want to duplicate that and now get the maximum. I'm doing this because I want to put little dots in the view at the top that show me kind of where the min and the max are. So if I now put both of these into the view, let's make these month. Okay, get rid of that one. So maybe an easy way to do it would be to put a reference band across the table. And I want to go from the min month to the max month. And I'm going to maybe put some lines on there. And I'm going to turn off all the labels to make it look a bit better. Oops, none, none. Okay, so now we can see the date range that we picked. So if I pick a different date range here, it'll shift that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to aggregate the values that are in each of these. So let's look at, so I want to do imports, exports. Okay, so imports ban. So I'm going to say, let's see. So I want to summarize. So if month set, then imports end. And that should give me the value of the imports for that period. So let's put that on text. I get 305 million. So if I go back here and put my month set, let's see, month set on the filter, imports is 305 billion. Okay, so that's good. So that's working. And then we can now duplicate that. And let's call this exports. I'll call this total exports. And then I just need to replace imports with exports. Okay, let me rename this. And then one more. Total total balance. I'm probably going to have to rename that because that doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so now I've got the total balance, so put that here, and put my total exports here. Okay, rearrange these measure names here. Some measure values, and then one insert. So let's put measure names onto text. There we go. Okay, so now I need to format these. Default properties, number format. So what? Billions, and then let me put a pound sign. Okay, so that looks good. And now I can hide the header and turn off my tooltips. Okay, so exports, imports, balance. So if I do this sheet now like this, and I need to rearrange these, so exports, imports, balance. And let's get rid of the title. I don't think I'm going to like this, but I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, so what I want to do now okay, put that in here. This is going to be my title. And I'm going to put a blank in here. All right, and then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to put that there. Let's make that fit width. Hide the title. Let's make that a bit bigger. Entire view. Okay. And I can format that later. And now I want to take my date picker and put that here. And then I want to bring my line chart here. Okay, now these don't quite line up, so let me just drag this out. On this sheet, I need to add in maybe an average of 0. So when I hover over, I want to see just the month. So let's see, so my tooltip. Okay, good. And then let's format the view. I'll do that last. Okay, so now my date picker, I can line these axes up. Right there we go. And now I can edit this axis and get rid of the tick marks. And then I'm also going to get rid of the 0 lines. Okay, and then get rid of my rulers. All right, so now I can get these to line up nice and neat. So entire view. Let's drag this up. And now these years should, oh wait, that's not gonna work, shit. Yeah, okay, let me, worksheet actions. I want to change this to be a dashboard action, so that is, it's my date picker. So that you see that's updating my numbers, which is good. But what it's not doing is, let me see, let me get rid of this legend, remove from dashboard, delete. Let's hide that. Okay. I was hoping these exports and imports in this would line up with these columns, or with these, yeah, with these columns, but they don't. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this here and have them go sideways. No, that doesn't work though. I like them left to right like this. So, okay, well actually it does line up. That was dumb. So, but on this sheet I need to also put that dummy header in here. Let's make these text. That's fine. So format, let's get rid of 0 line. And let's get rid of the title. Get rid of, make that none. Okay, so now if I go back into my dashboard, I should be able to line that up as well. Okay, yeah, that works. So format, let's get rid of the axis rulers. And let's get rid of the grid lines. Okay, there we go. So, so now I can hide the headers. And maybe what I'll do is let's get rid of the title. Okay, and then I can get rid of, let's make the 0 line a bit stronger. Okay. And then this I'm going to make black. Okay, so now they pick a range of dates, everything's going to update. But I want this view to also show that range. So, oh yeah, that's where it's messed up, so I can't see. Crap. Okay, let me try this. If I move these like that. See, now the dates line up perfectly between the headers. At least I think they do. So what I'm trying to do is, what if I flip this chart, and instead of having it there, I'm going to put it down this side. So let's try that. So I need to bring in a horizontal container, and that's going to have this sheet in it. And it needs to have another container. And this container is going to have this sheet and this sheet. Okay. Okay, so I need to have like a buffer up above this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my, oh, how do I do that? Dashboard, show grid. Okay. So on this sheet, so let me go to my bands. And on the layout, I'm going to add on the top, let's see. Oh, actually, I can look at this sheet. So this starts at, let's see, 159. So I need to add, or what I could do is I'll put another vertical container here, put that inside of it, and put a blank inside of that. Okay, so now the height of this sheet is, edit height is 91. So let's edit the height of this, make it 91. And then this one will be fit entire view. Oh, there we go. So I'm just trying to put the numbers next to it. Okay. Right. And now I need to move this up a bit from the bottom. So let's, okay, so let me take this sheet and let's put a bunch of bottom padding on it. Okay, so that looks good. This is where the having the grid, the what's it called in the background, the grid in the background helps. So okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the right padding, and this one I'm going to remove the left padding. Now that you should see that the lines just continue all the way across the view, but this one I need to, let's see, format, borders, and let's increase that. I guess I'm just click on the title. So now you can see those go all the way across, but I need to get rid of the shading here. Okay, so that goes all the way across. So that looks good. We can see 0 on there. I don't love this. So if I do that, it updates the numbers, which is good. Okay, so let's go to this. No, let's go here and let's put category onto detail. And let's just pick all for now, and we need to add that to context. And then I'm going to filters category. So, okay, so it's stuck in the background, of course. God, I hate all this crap, all this tiled crap. So let's float that for now. And then I can get rid of this tiled section, remove from dashboard. Okay, and I want this to go in there. Okay, and what was the height of this? Edit height, 91. So this one I'm going to edit the height, 91. And I'm going to change this to a multiple value drop down. And I'm going to, let's see, include the apply button. Okay, let me get rid of my background now, show grid. Okay. All right, so let me maybe make this one look a bit better. Okay, but I want this to be but then I need the height to be, let's, come on, edit the height. I need that to be 91. Okay, I need that to be even more. Actually, when I just do inner padding. Okay, that looks good. Let me show the title. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I think that's good. Let me add a bit of inner padding at the bottom. Okay. I don't know how intuitive this is, but and then now what I can do on here is I can also put these two fields in the view. Month, and let's do month reference band for the whole table for the months. Min, max. Might come back and change those lines. Okay, so everything is very ever so slightly off. Okay, so now on this one, if I get rid of my top, it's going to push it up to the edge. And then this one, I want to take the bottom and make that 0. But now I need to also remove that inner padding I put in there. So all sides equal. And now that'll line up nice and neat. So now if I go here, it's going to move the range. All right. So let's edit the height again. 87. Edit height. Okay, let's see, that still doesn't look right. You see how these are. Okay, how's that look? I mean, it's not very informative, that's for sure. Let's go back here. Let's reset that. So what could I do? So, all right. Okay. Why can I not synchronize? Oh, this has to be. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to make this one maybe like a grayish color. And then I'm going to make, so let's move this to the, okay, that's good. And then this one I'll make a bit wider and have this be black. That's good. Okay. Okay, so this tells me imports, exports, whatever. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just kind of overlaid the a secondary date axis to kind of highlight those dates that are in between. So let me go back here. Let me make these a bit more gray. Okay, can hide the nulls. And what happened here? Oh, it's because this show header. Get rid of the title. And then this one, tooltip month, so this should be okay. All right, so let me now finish formatting here, and I'm going to make my axis maybe a light gray and 8 point. Same thing for here. I'm going to make the axis a light gray and 8 point. Just trying to kind of get it out of the way a bit. Okay, so now when I highlight things, it doesn't do anything there, which is good. I'll select a date range there. That works. Okay, so let's see, data source is the, is it called Office 4 or Office of? Office, I think they just call Office 4 National Statistics. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Is there a reason for using number rather than currency for formatting, George? Yeah, so the reason I do that is because I've seen issues before, or I've had issues before, where if I use, because I'm trying to use pounds here, if I choose money, sometimes Tableau will change it to dollars. So I just feel like I have a bit more control. I didn't used to do that. So the bottom line doesn't align properly. Let's see, so this actually needs to move over here. There we go. If I set my date picker to use as filter, would it be able to zoom in and out on the view of the line charts? Yes, it could. So Actually, the way that I would do that is I would probably put my month set onto filter, something like that. So now if I go, where's my dashboard? And then so if I go like that, it's going to zoom into that area. I think you mean something like that. Is that right, Dan? I think that's what you mean there. So I could zoom into that period if I want to select the whole thing. I could do that. I guess another alternative is to, yeah, oh, look at that. It's still ever so slightly off here. What the heck is going on? Okay. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you like the zooming in better? So again, I could go like this and zoom into some of the marks, and then it changes the line chart. But now it doesn't match up with these bands. So let's see. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like it better? So if I take this back off, then the reason I left it here is so you can still see everything lines up nicely. So that's kind of the reason for doing that. And then this, so actually maybe what I could do is, how about I make these all separate sheets and I put a little spark line in each of them, and that could be the zoomed in area. So, oh, I like that idea. So let me go to this sheet, and I'm going to get rid of total imports, total exports. Okay, and then let me try this. Okay, total balance. So what I'm going to do now is put that on detail. This is going to be my, okay, I'm just going to write in here exports. And then if I put my month set, or no, month set onto filters, month onto columns, and then I could put exports onto rows and make it a line. And then I need to match the color, which I think is that. So, and then I can hide that header. I'm just going to leave the axes on here now. I'm probably going to get rid of it later. So this would be my exports. Let's duplicate, and let's call this one imports. So then the imports I could, let's see, nope. Okay, that's annoying. Could have sworn that I could. Where's my little swap option? No, okay. So let me just put this onto detail. Okay, and then duplicate, and let's make this one the balance. Maybe this would be the, okay, so let's put the balance here. Okay, so now what I can do is on the dashboard, I've got one sheet there now. Let's show the title. And then let me just leave it like that for now. And this is a container. Okay, so I can then put the imports here and the balance here. Okay, so that's good. And let's see, we need to, I could see things aren't quite lining up. So this one I'm going to let me just set these all to 4. Let me just set it back to the default. Okay. Now I want these all to be the same size. So, and then I need one more down here to move this up. Okay, so let me try this. So let's put another blank. Let's edit the height. Let's make it 40. And let me show dashboard, show grid. And then this one, I'm going to set the background for this. Let's make this. And I'm going to set the background to black. I'm doing that just so I can see how it lines up. And now if I change the height, let's make it maybe 34. Maybe drag that up ever so slightly. Okay. 37, let's maybe make it 39. 40. A lot of fiddling around here. Okay, so now I can make that none. All right, so now this is zooming in. What do you think about, let me, could you add animation? I could probably add animation yet. I think it would be nice without the bands, but I've got bands hanging up. Okay, so I think, so if I uncheck show header here, uncheck show header, uncheck show header, and then to get these all to be the same size, I'm going to put another container inside of this container. And I'm doing that because now I can force these 3 sheets to, so if I select this container, I can now set them to distribute evenly. And then they should be pretty close to lined up. So that one is 4, 4, 4. Okay. And then maybe what I do here is I'll set the top to maybe 10, the bottom to 10. Oops. Let's do the same thing here. Okay, so now what's gonna happen now is when you pick a date range, it's going to update those line charts for that. Using dots on the top line to show months will make it slightly more intuitive. Using dots on the top lines. Which line do you mean, Elaine? The across the month picker? Is that what you mean? The month picker across the top? Because what I could do, so maybe instead of using this line, I could put let's see. Yeah, given the greater exports is considered good and the imports are considered bad, is there a way to include a highlight color that shows when exports outperform imports? Net is positive from pick dates. So let me find my sheet here. Where is it? So this is my lines. Given that the grade is considered good. Okay, so on this one, could I color this to know, like month by month? I could, but it's probably not going to look very good because the color would like gradually shade. Now, because you see it goes below 0 here. Oh, I see what you mean. So whether it's above or below, probably could do that. I would need to, I think if I put dots on the ones that, I could maybe put dots on the ones where the let me try that. So yeah, let's see. Let's call this the deficit. So if sum of exports is less than sum of imports, then sum of exports. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here is put that here, and I should only get marks. Why did that not work? Oh, I can't do a double dual axis, crap, because I wanted to do this coloring in between the lines. So I can't do, so if I get rid of that, then I can make this a dual axis, and I could make these dots, but I don't, yeah, so that's not going to work. Because I like how this is highlighted in the middle. On my date picker, I could probably put, let's see, so min or max. So if month equals the max month, or month equals the min month, then 0 and so if I put that here and then make these circles, and maybe I color those like red or something, and then I could make it a dual axis and synchronize and get rid of measure names. Okay, so if we had something like that, get rid of the title. Okay. So what I could do is maybe I get rid of the shading now. So if I format this, and or actually maybe I get rid of the lines and I only keep the shading. No line. So what if I do, what about something like that? That's a bit cleaner. Okay. So is that what you mean, Elaine? Put dots on the top line? So let me get rid of my grid. So let's say, what could I call, what could I use for a title here? UK trade exports, imports, and deficit. I don't like the title, but I'm just going to stick with it for now. Right, so let's add some padding to the top. Okay, and then this sheet, I need to get rid of the borders. Format, borders. Okay, how about something like that? You were thinking of using parking type, mark type as dot shapes instead of line type for the date picker. Yeah, I see what you mean. Now the problem now is when I pick these, yeah, there we go. So that works pretty good. So it's assigning the values to the set. Yeah, I like that idea. Now I wonder if it would make more sense now, instead of this having a black line in the middle, if that should be red to make it stick out a bit more. So if I go to my lines and if I make this the same color red, does that make it look any better? Because now those are going to match. So what do you think of that, having the red there instead? I think I like the black better. Yeah, I think I like the black better. I like how the dots kind of frame the reference band. So, and then I also like, so yeah, exports, imports, trade balance. And then this one, let's format. And then my zero line, I want to clear that because I want to show the zero line when I can, if I need to. So, for example, if I go here, oh no, that's wrong. If I go here, why is my zero line not showing up? Oh, then I used the wrong field here. Balance. Okay. Okay. So when do we, okay, so the deficit, something's not right here. Oh, it's because I'm looking at just fields, that's why. So let's look at all and apply. Yeah, so now I can see my zero line here. Yeah, and then maybe what I'll do on each of these sheets then, let's say, what does it look like if I make it more like a spark line? So let's get rid of that. I think I like it better because it is pretty flat. I think I like it like that better. Not the most interesting thing in the world. Let me just try these dots here. Yeah, I think that's okay. So, yeah, okay. Oh, but see now what is going on here? Why is this off again? Oh, this is so annoying. Format. Let me show dashboard grid. So that's lined up. So why is this? What the heck? Why is this no longer? Yeah, so that's, what the heck? Why are these no longer lining up? All right, I need to figure out here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just fix the date range from October 95 to March 2022. And then my date picker, April 2022. Okay, so that's the same. Then why do those not line up? Okay, now they do. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, and now I think these need to be a bit darker. And I think I'm going to call it a day. Okay. All right. I think yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I kind of like how this turned out. It's more of an exploratory dashboard, but that's okay. This one looks like it needs to be centered a bit more. So bottom. Inner. Okay, that looks better. Yeah, so so it allows them to pick a date range. I show that, it highlights it, shows the bands on the left. I think that's okay. Any questions anybody has before we hang up for the day? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I'll post this up on my blog and also the video along with the visualization if you want to download it and have a look at any of the techniques here. It still looks again like these are ever so slightly off, which is a bit annoying. So that's 0, 4, 4, 4. And this one is 4, 4. Yep. I don't know. I find this stuff like super annoying when it won't line up just right. I don't know if that bothers other people, but it does me. Maybe if I set this just the left to 0. You see how that doesn't line up anymore? Like, what the hell? Why does that not line up anymore? See if that makes a difference. No. I find that like super annoying. Like, why would that no longer line up? Okay. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm just going to keep playing around with this a bit until I can get everything to line up just right. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and everybody have yourselves a great day, and I'll be back next week. All right, bye.